Hi everyone, this is Ashley with CTR Digitals. I just wanted to do a quick tutorial because I added an update to my background smoothing action. It still has the original action in there. I just added another one with the auto selection of your subject when smoothing your backdrop. And I also wanted to put in here that you do need to clean up the edges of your image before you are adding smoothing to your backdrop. So it needs to be cleaned up, like if you have any edges of the paper showing, or if there's your backdrop stand or anything showing in your image, you need to get rid of that first. And Photoshop has had so many updates where it makes that easy now. In order to do that, you can just select your subject, or you can grab your lasso tool, however you want to do it. And just select around your subject. I like to select a lot of the backdrop and just leave out what needs to be filled in, and then go up to select inverse, and then just right click within that selection and fill in with either generative fill or content aware fill. This may or may not pop up for you. It's just a preview, and then just go ahead and click apply. Okay, and then deselect. Photoshop's being pretty slow for me. Deselect, and now it's filled in to where you can use your, I don't know why I duplicated that layer, to where you can use your smoothing action. So go ahead and flatten that image. Make sure you're running your action on a flattened background layer. Now I can do the original first. The original backdrop smoothing action is going to pop up to tell you to select use your lasso tool or your select subject button, or however you want to select around your subject, and then press play again. So I'm just going to go to my quick selection tool and select subject, and then I'm going to press play again. And then it's just going to say to use a soft white brush to blur on around your subject, and brush off with a black brush if needed. Adjust the opacity, and then add noise if it creates any banding. So I'm just going to go to my soft brush over here, white brush, and just go ahead and brush in. I like to use a bigger brush and kind of just feather it onto the backdrop right around my subject, and then I go back in and brush that off. I sometimes prefer to select my subject or whatever I'm trying to blur manually instead of doing it automatically, which is why I had it like this to begin with, but I did want to add in the option to auto select, and then I would just go back in with a smaller black brush and just brush it off of the obvious parts of the image that it brushed the blur onto. And then you can either flatten and add noise if it creates banding. This didn't really create much banding, but you can also click right over here next to your layer mask and just go up to filter and noise, add noise. And I like to use 1.53. I don't know why, that's kind of my magic number. And that's going to add noise to it. In order to get rid of banding, you just need to create noise. Or you can just flatten your image once you're done with your blur and use the bye-bye banding action, which is just going to create noise over your whole image, and then you would just use a black brush to brush it off of your subject, and then you can be done. So now if I go back, I'm going to play the other action that auto selects, and it's literally the same thing. All it's going to do is auto select for you, so it's not just an extra step within that action. But if the auto selection seems to be not selecting your subject very well or something, then I also have the backdrop smoothing action in there to where it doesn't auto select for you. Okay, so now this is going to bring up a different box. Again, it has some helpful notes in here for the new one that I added in there, but also same thing now. Use the soft white brush to brush it on. Now it's the same action as I played before. It just selected it for you already. So all you have to do is brush on and then add the noise if you need to. And you don't have to brush all the way up to your subject and then brush off like I do. It's just when I have kind of a lot of wrinkles in it that go up to my subject, I like to do that just to make sure that I get them all like to sometimes leave a little bit of that blur on the bottom of the dress too. Come over to there, filter, add a little bit of noise, and then done. Flatten image, and that's it. If you have any questions, you can send me a message. If you are a studio photographer, I would love for you to join my group on Facebook. I will link it in the description. If you want more free tutorials like this, be sure to follow the YouTube channel. If you're needing help loading the actions into Photoshop, I will also link that down in the bottom of the description for a quick tutorial on how to do that.